rising young star on the basketball horizon a few years ago in Philadelphia, he was Wilt Chamberlain, nearly 7 feet tall even then, who was the most remarkable high school hoop player ever to come on the scene. With his extraordinary height, he was head and shoulders over his rivals, you might say. During his high school days, there was no one in his class defensively, and when driving for a basket, Wilt was almost unstoppable. Every basketball-minded college wanted this young man, and he finally elected to go to the University of Kansas, where he proved invaluable in sparking his teams to victory. The crowds loved his defensive play as much as his offensive work. For such a tall man, he handled himself gracefully in every move. He blazed through his college years like a comet, and there wasn't a pro team in the country that didn't long to have him. He finally signed with the Philadelphia Warriors and was up against men of his own size and with more experience. But that didn't slow him. He set league records in his first year and has smashed them one by one since. His latest, he's the first man to score 100 points in a single game. There are few records left for Wilt to tilt.
On March 2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game, and the crowd couldn't believe their eyes. Fans watched in shock as he made history. "Nobody roots for Goliath," Wilt once said, and he sure wasn't the underdog. But his legacy isn't just about the points. There's so much more to the story of this basketball giant. Early life and physical gifts. Wilt Chamberlain was born in 1936 in Philadelphia, one of 9 kids. From a young age, he stood out for his towering height, reaching 6 feet 11 inches by age 15. Growing up, he was a natural athlete. Despite being teased about his size initially, he soon realized his height was a gift. It allowed him to dominate in basketball, a game that would become his life. Even as a kid, he was always a step ahead, impressing people on the court and making them wonder just how good he could be. High school stardom. However, Wilt was already a legend by the time he got to Overbrook High School in Philadelphia. He could score like no one else, putting up 70-plus points in games. He led his team to back-to-back city championships, earning a reputation as one of the best high school players in the country. College recruiters couldn't get enough of him, with over 200 schools trying to get him to play for them. It wasn't just his size that set him apart, though. His raw talent and love for the game made everyone believe he had a remarkable future ahead. Kansas Jayhawks. After that, Wilt decided to take his talents to the University of Kansas, where he quickly became a force. In his first varsity game, he scored 52 points. His college career was just as impressive. He led Kansas to the NCAA championship game in 1957, although they fell short to North Carolina after an intense triple overtime battle. Even though they lost, Wilt's skill was undeniable. He averaged over 30 points per game during college and was named an All-American twice. His presence on the court changed how teams played against him. Double and triple teaming him became the norm. The Globetrotter years. Before Wilt could join the NBA, he spent a year with the Harlem Globetrotters. This was a unique chapter in his career, during which he not only showcased his basketball skills, but also entertained crowds with his showmanship. The year with the Globetrotters gave Wilt a chance to travel the world, grow his game, and enjoy basketball in a new light. It was a year that brought him closer to his dream, while letting him experience the global appeal of the game he loved. Defining career moments. Wilt Chamberlain's career was full of unforgettable moments, but none stand out more than his legendary 100-point game on March 2nd, 1962. It happened during a regular season game between the Philadelphia Warriors and the New York Knicks, and the result was pure magic. The Warriors crushed the Knicks 169-147, with Chamberlain scoring nearly 60% of his team's total points. From the opening tip-off, it was clear that Chamberlain was on a mission. He scored effortlessly, mixing up dunks, jump shots, and even free throws, which wasn't his strength then. By halftime, he had 41 points. But by the third quarter, the crowd could feel something special in the air as Chamberlain hit 69 points, breaking his previous record of 73 points in a game. Also, Chamberlain's teammates fed him the ball as the final quarter ticked down, determined to see history unfold. With just 46 seconds left, he scored his 100th point, making him the first and only player in NBA history to do so in a game. The crowd went wild, and even though the game wasn't televised, the moment became one of basketball's greatest records. Scoring records. That 100-point game wasn't the only jaw-dropping achievement Wilt Chamberlain had up his sleeve. The 1961-62 season was a scoring frenzy as he averaged a mind-blowing 50.4 points per game. That's right, 50.4 points every single game for an entire season. To put that into perspective, today's players rarely reach even 40 points per game over a season. Back then, the NBA didn't have a three-point line, and the pace of the game was slower. Still, Chamberlain's dominance was undeniable. He routinely scored over 60 points in games, and his insane scoring numbers became a benchmark no one could touch. His closest competitors in today's game would struggle to match that, given the evolution of the game and how teams now focus on strategy, spacing, and a more team-oriented style. Wilt versus Russell rivalry. Of course, no discussion about Wilt Chamberlain's career would be complete without mentioning his rivalry with Bill Russell. These two giants faced off in many memorable playoff series, and it was always a clash of styles. Wilt, the unstoppable individual force, often had the better personal stats, but Russell's Celtics were all about team play. Despite Wilt's dominance on the court, it was Russell's Celtics who usually came out on top when it mattered most, winning championships. Their rivalry wasn't just about basketball. It became a battle between individual brilliance and the power of teamwork. While Wilt's stats would leave anyone in awe, Russell's leadership and ability to elevate his teammates were what made the Celtics so successful. Even though they pushed each other to the limit, there was always mutual respect between them. The shift to team play. As Wilt's career went on, he shifted his focus from scoring to team play, especially during his time with the Los Angeles Lakers. This was a new chapter for him, where he reinvented his game. No longer just the dominant scorer, Chamberlain took on the role of a facilitator, leading the Lakers to the 1972 NBA title. He didn't just score, he made his teammates better, leading the league in assists that season. This evolution showed his growth as a player, and it was the key to finally capturing that elusive championship. Instead of trying to do it all himself, he embraced the team-first mentality and helped guide the Lakers to a historic 33-game win streak. It was a fitting conclusion to a career full of records, rivalries, and, most importantly, the evolution of a basketball legend. Impact on the game. Wilt Chamberlain wasn't just a player. He was a game-changer in every sense. His size, strength, and athleticism were so out of this world that the NBA had no choice but to change the rules to keep up. Standing at 7 feet 1 inch and built like a brick wall, Chamberlain had a physical presence unlike anything the league had seen. His dominance under the rim was so overwhelming that the NBA widened the lane to keep him from simply standing there and owning the paint. They also had to introduce goaltending rules to stop him from blocking shots that were already halfway down. In a way, his mere presence on the court forced the game to evolve. But Wilt didn't just rewrite the rules. He also broke every record in sight. He still holds the record for the most points scored in a season, 4,029 points, to be exact, a feat no one has come close to matching. He also set the single-game record for most rebounds, grabbing an unbelievable 55 in one game. But it wasn't just about the numbers. Wilt played with an endurance that made others look tired just watching him. In the 1961-62 season, he averaged over 48 minutes a game, which means he played nearly every minute of every game. That's unheard of, especially for a big man. It wasn't just about scoring points. Wilt made rebounding a key part of his game, rethinking what it meant to be a center. Yet, as his career progressed, Wilt showed that he wasn't just a one-dimensional player. In 1968, he shocked the world by leading the league in assists. That's right, he, a towering center, was racking up assists like a point guard. It wasn't enough for Wilt to dominate the paint. He wanted to impact every part of the game. This versatility completely changed the way people viewed centers in basketball. They weren't just low-post scorers anymore. Wilt proved that big men could also be playmakers, setting the stage for future stars like Magic Johnson and LeBron James to carry on that legacy. Beyond this, Wilt's game wasn't just about numbers. It was about adaptability and pushing the boundaries of what a player could do. His influence on the game can still be felt today, not just through the rules he helped shape, but in how the role of the center has evolved from pure scorers to all-around players who can do it all. Chamberlain didn't just break records. He transformed the game itself. Legacy off the court. Now let's talk about his legacy. Wilt Chamberlain was more than just a basketball player. He was a full-on cultural icon. His larger-than-life personality made him a star in ways few athletes could match off the court. He didn't just shine in the gym. He also had a knack for stealing the spotlight in movies and TV shows. Chamberlain even had memorable cameo roles, like his part in Conan the Barbarian 1984. He was everywhere, from sports arenas to Hollywood. His charisma and charm made him a household name in the 1960s and 1970s, and people were drawn to his bold, outgoing nature. Wilt knew how to handle his fame, embracing it with style. But not everything about Wilt's off-court reputation was all glitz and glamour. One of the most talked-about parts of his life was his claim about sleeping with 20,000 women. This story, first shared in his autobiography, became a part of his legendary status, whether the number was true or not. Some believed it was a wild exaggeration, while others thought it was the gospel truth. But what Wilt wanted to convey was a deeper message about relationships and sex. How being with one person was ultimately more meaningful than being with many. Sadly, the message got lost in the shocking number, and he became known more for that claim than anything else. Aside from his larger-than-life stories, Wilt also faced a reputation for focusing on individual stats over team success. Early in his career, he was often criticized for putting up crazy numbers, but not always winning championships. But as his career progressed, he worked hard to change that narrative. He embraced a more team-first mindset, especially during his time with the Lakers. He began showing the world that he could do more than just rack up points. He could lead a team and help others shine. It was a shift that proved he cared about winning just as much as any stat. But there's another side of Wilt that many don't know, his charitable side. He may have been a larger-than-life figure in the public eye, but behind the scenes, Wilt used his fame for good. He helped underprivileged youth and contributed to educational causes, proving that his legacy wasn't just about basketball. He gave back to the community meaningfully, helping those who needed it most. In the end, Wilt's off-court life was just as colorful as his game, and these layers make his legacy unforgettable. Wilt Chamberlain didn't just change basketball. He redefined what greatness looks like. His impact still echoes through the game today, setting the stage for the next legend, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whose unmatched skill would take the center position to even greater heights. Stay tuned to see how Kareem made his mark